Hello everyone, it's Chris again at Garage Times. Today we're working on a Yamaha Moto 350, and the deal with this is carburetor issues. I ended up, it's been hard starting and it's just gotten worse. And when it does fire up, if you can get it to fire up, the carburetor kind of runs away on you, and then it acts like it's running out of fuel. So I took the carburetor off to kind of inspect it, and I was gonna do like a rebuild maybe and clean it out, but I don't know, I elected to do something else. And that something else was maybe getting a new one. So that's what I did after looking at the old one and some of the wear in it, where the slide goes. And I just decided at least to have one on backup just in case this one didn't work when I took it apart. So the new one, so this old one I may try to still rebuild. I'm just not sure. But this one, when I got it, I was like, well, I think I'm kind of in trouble here because it's not the exact same one. It looks like your linkages are, like in this one, this is set up for a double cable pull setup on your bike or whatever you're riding. Double cable meaning like one cable controls your butterfly and the other cable controls your slide with the needle. This one is controlled with one cable, and that's why they have the extra hardware in here, so that when you use the one cable, it's actuating your butterfly and it's actuating your fuel needle and slide. So it looks like this is gonna work. I'm just gonna eliminate the other cable on the bike, and so it'll just be a single pull cable. And the only other significant difference really is this is like a push and pull knob choke. This one is a cable pull choke, and all I'm gonna do is just eliminate that cable as well. I may just leave them on the bike zip tied up there. Maybe I'll just take them off, not sure, but just in case I can get this other one working in the meantime. Going back to the bike, so the carburetor would act like it, like it would, how do you say, like the RPMs, it would kind of run away once it would start idle high, and then it would kind of die off, and then it would act like it starved for fuel and then just shut off. So you got like two options, like obviously the carburetor replacement or check the timing and or the valve adjustment. So if this carburetor thing doesn't work, this is what I'm gonna do next. I'll pull this cover here off and this cover here off, and then I'll have to take the gas tank off and all this plastic and the handlebars, take all that stuff off, and you'll be able to get to, there is a timing, there's like valve adjustments you can do on the exhaust and the intake. There's one on the front of the motor. You can kind of see right here. There's like a couple bolts there. They're actually Allen headed bolts, and there's one on the other side. And then on top of the head there, like right below the gas tank, there's another one that you have to be able to get to check the valve adjustment. So long story short, that's the plan. Carburetor first, see what happens. If not, then I'll tear all this plastic off and go from there. When I was trying to get her started, a little bit of starter fluid there ended up like backfiring and had some flames shooting out of the air box here. So hopefully this works. And that's that slide I was talking about. That's that cable slide that or the butterfly, one of them I'm gonna, delete. So another reason why I decided to go with the carburetor is because when I was doing my inspection, I noticed that there's like this flaking material that was in it. Like, I'm honestly not sure if it's varnish, but it's kind of like a flaky gold colored material. Looks like it could be, so hopefully that's what it was, and this new one will work. Before I do the swap over for the new carb, I'm gonna drain the old fuel out of this. After I got the new carburetor and it was different from the old one, I kind of questioned, is there, what's going on here? So I did VIN check the bike online, like on Google, and found a decoder for it, and it says that it's like a 89 Yamaha. And so then I did some more research, and it looks like there's not a lot. I couldn't find any sellers that were selling like the double cable pull carburetors, and they may be out there. I might have been looking in the wrong spot, but these single pull cable carburetors are like all over the place. So that's what we're gonna go with, see if it works. If you're wondering, this is kind of like what's going on here for the cables. This is like your choke cable, this one here. So that one's gonna get eliminated. And this needle slide setup on the new one, this is the cover back here where my index is at for this. On the other one, there's just a cover, there's no cabling that goes through the cover of it. So, and it's all controlled by the linkage from the other throttle. This would be like your butterfly on this one. So obviously this is the choke, and then this is your needle slide pull. This one's gonna get eliminated on this bike. And then I'm just gonna use this was pulling the butterfly on this, on the carburetor. So that is the one that I'm gonna hook through the side. That went through the side on the other one. And we'll see what happens. Fuel's all drained here, so let's get back to work. When you go to do the install, don't fight with this hose here, like your filter air intake hose. Just normally it comes down here and it's totally in the way and you can't get your carburetor in here. Just jam that hose up there. It's pretty rigid, but just jam her up in there and that bike frame will hold it. This choke push pull knob is in the way, so like when I go to try to install it, it won't let me seat this correctly because this push knob is hitting the fuel line that runs to the carburetor. There's no way to get around it unless I cut this fuel knob off and then maybe like shorten up that shaft a little bit. So what I'm gonna try to do is try to use the old cabled choke and see if that'll work in there. Well, so far so good. That was a 14mm wrench for that nut there. And when it, like I said before, it came with this push-pull knob, and this is like plastic, so you gotta be careful with it if you have to use it when you go to tighten it. But this one is like a brass fitting on the original cable, so we are gonna go with the cable for that. Hopefully that it works. It does actuate right. You know, I just don't know if like, was there a depth issue or anything like that, but this is like the first carburetor that for this style of bike that I ever did. So learning as I go here. Well, I ended up taking it for a rip. It did start. The only thing I did before I started it was I did pull the spark plug to clean that up a little bit, and then I just shot a little bit of just a tiny mist of starter fluid into the spark plug hole, just a little bit of a mist, and to kind of help it along. And it ran fine. Took her for a ride. Everything's good. Let's see if she starts again here. Well, there you go. So yeah, that carburetor worked fantastic. I did encounter an issue with these little eyelet stays for the, just so you can see it there. They send you one, and this is the one they sent me. And I'll see if I can get you a profile look at it. But anyways, the length of it wasn't, the length of this was not long enough, so I had to end up using my old one, which was great because it worked. The old one's just a little bit longer. If I can, yeah. So this one's a little too short. The other one was perfect with the original carb. So that's the only thing, and everything else worked out good. Super stoked. Not really, yeah. I was honestly kind of thinking it was the valves that I was going to have to adjust on it. So a win-win. So you guys have a good one. Hopefully if you're working on something like this, this helps you. So see you guys later.